Stage, the very funny Derrick King, everybody. Let him hear it, Derrick King.
Thank you, appreciate it. It's good to be here. So my New Year's resolution is to be a vegetarian. Thank you. I told my best friend, who happens to be an Hasidic Jew, that's important for the story, by the way. He's not a Hasidic Jew. He's an Hasidic Jew. He drinks a lot of citrus, like a ton of citrus. So I told him I want to be a vegetarian. He's like, Derrick, you know Hitler? He always brings Hitler in every conversation. Hitler was a vegetarian. I'm like, Adolf Hitler was a vegetarian? No, his cousin, Matthew Hitler, was, of course, Adolf Hitler. What other Hitler do people talk about when they say Adolf Hitler? Like, he was giving me a hard time for not knowing Hitler is a vegetarian. Like, I don't study fun facts about Adolf Hitler. Like, I didn't read his book. I'm not a Hitler enthusiast. I'm not like a, you know what I'm saying? That would be weird if I knew it. That's like me coming up to you and saying, hey, did you know Jeffrey Dahmer was ambidextrous? Did you know? During the Little League World Series, Charles Manson threw a perfect game. 27 up, 27 now. I'm 25 years old. I had no idea Hitler was a vegetarian. And I thought to myself, that would be the perfect slogan for McDonald's. Think about it. Perfect McDonald's slogan. McDonald's, don't be anti-Semitic. Oh man, I had to actually research that joke, or I had to go to Wikipedia to look up that joke. Wikipedia.org is like the internet version of PBS. I mean, they're both very informative, you know, they're both very educational, and they're cool until they start asking for money. That's when, that's when you go to a different site. I was on the Huffington Post website trying to get a job as a writer. By the way, all my comedy involves me trying to get a job. I'm trying to get a job. There was this article that showed the most expensive purchases the average man makes in his lifetime. First was a house, second was a car, and third most expensive purchase, engagement rings. Which is true. There was one time I went shopping for engagement rings. I looked at the price. I immediately thought to myself, maybe she's not the one. I mean, you have to be certain for that kind of money. I was the only black guy in that store. It was kind of like now. Guys, there are two different types of black guys, all right? There are guys like me who think Yo-Yo Ma is a great musician, right? Fantastic musician. And then there are guys who think Yo-Yo Ma is a pickup line. Yo-Yo Ma, let me get your number. Yo-Yo Ma. Guys, so there are only two things I hate in life. All right, the first thing I hate when comedians get on stage and start making a list of things they hate. Like, you're a comedian, you're supposed to make people laugh. Second thing I hate when Americans refer to themselves as poor. Like, that's the thing because I'm not American, actually. I was born in Cameroon. That's in Africa, guys. Being poor in the United States of America is like being middle class in Africa, basically. I'm listening to the Black album, right? Jay-Z's Black album. I was on my way to the Barclays Center, you know, for a job interview. You know, I figured, let me listen to Jay-Z's music. All my comedy involves me looking for a job. If anyone's hiring, don't encourage me. I'm listening to Jay-Z's Black album, right? And there's this track called December 4th. And his mother gets on the track and says, I knew Jay-Z was special because when he was 4 years old, he taught himself how to ride a bike. And I thought, you know, that's great, but how did he get the bike? I mean, he talks about himself being poor this whole time. Like, how did he acquire this bike? I didn't have a bike when I was 4 years old. I was in Africa when I was 4. You know what I had when I was 4 years old in Africa? Malaria. That's what I had. All right? In conclusion, now that I think about it, Jay-Z's life as a multi-millionaire is almost identical to my life, like as a poor African child. I mean, he spends his time in the Barclays Center, sitting next to Beyonce, watching the Nets. Now, I used to spend my time in African huts, sitting next to mosquitoes, watching the Nets.